Having exhausted all the alternatives, including covert action directed at regime change, sabotage, proxy warfare, support for U.S. policies of maximum pressure on Iran, and ostracism of both Iran and Qatar, Saudi Arabia finally turned to diplomacy with Iran. The United States could not help it in this effort because, unlike Beijing, Washington is committed to exclusive reliance on coercive approaches to international relations rather than dialogue and mutual accommodation, and of course has no relationship with Tehran. Riyadh began to explore rapprochement, détente, and ways to end the Saudi-Iranian proxy war in Yemen with Tehran in meetings under Iraqi and Omani auspices. These talks yielded some progress, but not enough to close a deal. Some years ago, Beijing put forward principles for conflict resolution and a cooperative security system in the Persian Gulf. It has maintained a balanced relationship with both Riyadh and Tehran. These things made China the only great power capable of mediating between those two capitals. China had long treated the Middle East as an American sphere of influence in which it could play no active political role. But mounting U.S. efforts to oppose China's economic and technological development or a settlement of the ongoing Chinese civil war between Beijing and Taipei caused Beijing progressively to set aside its deference to American primacy in the region and eliminated its reluctance to assert its own influence there. In the event, China showed that its newly established global reach and diplomatic capabilities were up to the formidable challenge of supporting a serious peace process in the Middle East. The contrast with decades of American failure to do so in the Israeli-Palestinian conflict is really striking. This contrast has raised the global prestige of Chinese diplomacy to the point that China now seems willing to attempt peacemaking in the even more difficult context of the Ukraine war, which of course combines civil war among Ukrainians with war between Kyiv and Moscow, a proxy war between the United States and the Russian Federation, and a contest to find a non-confrontational European security architecture. China's made it clear that it intends to remain engaged in support of concrete arrangements to implement the principles it helped Riyadh and Tehran to agree to. All this marked the effective end of American hegemony in the Middle East and the emergence of Chinese influence as a credible and constructive factor in the region. I think it would be in the interest of the United States, Europe, and other external powers to assist China's enablement of further Saudi-Iranian negotiations that could produce a sustainable peace in the Persian Gulf.